Welcome to South Asian 360 TV. Today we are here at the fundraising dinner of Raj Karewal, the Liberal Party candidate. Raj ji, बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है South Asian 360.
Thank you very much ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ and thank you very much for coming, sir.
You're very welcome. What a great turnout.
I know it was exceedingly higher than expectations. I can't thank the community enough and all of our supporters and all of Team Garawal ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਸਮਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਆ. You know, we were expecting about 800. We got well over 1,000, so we're very, very fortunate.
ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਈਸਟ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰਾਈਡਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਨੇ ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਰਫਾਰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ?
The party is doing very, very well. ਲੋਕੀ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਥ ਬੜਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ 10 ਸਾਲ ਆਪਣੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਚੇਂਜ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਆ ਚਾਹ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ ਧੱਕਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ 10 ਸਾਲ especially on immigration ਤੇ ਸੁਪਰ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ the Liberal Party is working hard. We're going door to door, we're earning it one vote at a time, and we're very excited about October 19, 2015.
So once you're going for door knocking, meeting people, I'm sure quite a few people must have given you the feedback. So what sort of feedback are you getting?
So the feedback is people are concerned about immigration, small businesses, and sending their kids to university. Right? And I understand those things because I grew up in Brampton East. I've been living there for 18 years, right? My dad was a taxi driver, my mom was a factory worker, but I got to go to some of the best schools in this country. And that's why I'm running. I'm running to ensure that future generations have the same opportunity that I did. The same opportunity to attend some of the best schools in this nation. And what we're hearing at the door is that they're tired of Harper's politics of division. And it's about uniting the country and building upon Justin Trudeau's message of hope and hard work.
My last question is, what are you going to do anything different that currently the federal conservatives are not doing?
Well, one thing we're going to do is for sure is we're going to change the current immigration structure. We all can realize that the current immigration structure is not working. It's broken, right? So we got to get rid of this super visa. We got to go back to the immigration policies from the early 90s and the late 80s when Pierre Elliott Trudeau and Jean Chrétien and Paul Martin were our prime ministers, when it was immigration that was fair and just for all Canadians. And that's what we got to get back to. And first and foremost, we also have to ensure that future generations have the same opportunity to send their children to post-secondary education. For some reason, the federal government does not play in educational standards, but it's too important of an area for them not to play. For example, in Quebec, the cost of undergraduate studies is about $2,700. In Ontario, it's $7,500 per year. That's quite a $5,000 gap. So we got to work as a federal government with all the provinces and all the territories to ensure that we crush that gap and make it equal across the board for all Canadians to get access to fair and quality education.
Your final thoughts for our viewers there?
I just want ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਇਹੀ that Liberal Party ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਸੇਵਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਈਮੇਲ ਕਰੋ ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ ਔਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਈਮੇਲ ਹੈਗੀ raj@rajgarewal.ca ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਸੇਵਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਤੇ ਅਕਤੂਬਰ 19 ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ Liberal Party ਨੂੰ ਵੋਟ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਈਸਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਰਾਜ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਨੂੰ ਵੋਟ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੈ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ
Thanks Karewal.
Thank you sir, I appreciate it.
साउथ एशियन 360 टीवी देख रहे सारे दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से युद्धवीर जसवाल की तरफ से स्वागत है। आज हम पहुंचे एक इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट पर जहां पर कि कनाडा ईस्ट रेसलिंग फेस्टिवल की हम बातचीत करने जा रहे हैं। सो सबसे पहले हमारे साथ हेड कोच इस समय, वेलकम टू द शो सर।
Thank you.
सो टेल अस समथिंग अबाउट दिस फेस्टिवल।
So this is a Canada East Wrestling Festival where this time we're inviting the West also, all the way to BC, Saskatchewan, Alberta. They're all invited and they're coming. Kids anywhere from 8 years old to 14 years old, and we are expecting about 500 kids coming to Niagara Falls at the Gale Centre on Mother's Day weekend, May 9th, 10th weekend. There's going to be light shows, stage, interactive, the interactive videos, interactive chatting through the arena, live streaming, live draws. We've got Olympic-style medals coming this year for the top 3 winners. Large trophies, as you can see over here. Lots of prizes for the kids, and we're really trying to step up the bar on wrestling because wrestling's a dying sport where we're not promoting it properly. And I think the more we make an effort to promote it, the better it's going to grow again and grow back in Canada again.
Have you played yourself?
Yes, 30 years ago. Now I have fun coaching kids. I've got 5 kids, and 3 of them wrestle, and so we've got a lot of fun coaching the little kids. And we have a lot of Olympians in our Brock club as you see here, which are past Olympians, present Olympians, and they're helping us coach as well. So they learn how to give back to the community what they got all their lives from growing up in wrestling field.
Wrestling is an ancient sport, and you just mentioned it's a dying sport here in Canada. So, what would you like to have the support from our viewers or anybody else that how to keep it alive?
Well, first of all, before we get support from the viewers, I think we need to step up the bar. We have to make it an entertainment sport, and that's why we're doing all this with the different interactive and the light shows and the grand opening ceremony. Then we'll get the support from the community. Like our opening ceremony this year, we're combining the East and the West. We've got our bagpipers coming in with the Indian drums. It's tabla. What is it? Tol. And they're going to combine and harmonize together in their music to bring the athletes out to the floor. And that's never been done in Canada and in a wrestling field. And I guess there's probably more than 30-40% of the wrestlers are Indian origin. And that's where we're getting a lot of support from the Indian community. And it helps us make a better show for the kids in return.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੋਏ ਜੀ?
ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਊਥ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਟੀਮ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਊਥ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ 360 ਟੀਮ ਦਾ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੱਸੇ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਨੋਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਿਜੀ ਸਕੇਜੂਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋ। ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ। ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਗੇਮ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਦਾਦਾ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਅਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਏ ਨੇ 10 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਨੇ। ਅਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਗੁੜੀਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ 9 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਦ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹਰਿਆਣੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੁਝ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਪ੍ਰਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, ਔਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਐਗਰੀ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਜਾਂ ਈਵਨ ਲੜਕੇ ਫॉर दैट मैटर ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ 'ਚ ਜਾਣ। ਸੋ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਸੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ?
ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਨਹੀਂ। ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਮੇਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਨੀਸ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੀ ਭਤੀਜੀ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ US ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ 'ਤੇ। ਉਹ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨਾਲੇ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੁੜੀ ਅਲਾਓ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਅਤੇ US ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਦੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਫੀਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਸੋ ਸਰਪ੍ਰਾਈਜ਼ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਲੂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਮਹਾਂਵੀਰ ਹਰਿਆਣੇ ਦੇ ਪਹਿਲਵਾਨ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਆਈ ਹੋਪ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਉਣ, ਸਟੈਪ ਫੋਰਵਰਡ ਕਰਨ ਅਤੇ ਵੀ ਜੋ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੁੜੀ ਦਾ ਫਰਕ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ।
ਸਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੋ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜੋ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਣ ਅਤੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਅਤੇ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਹੁਣੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕੈਕੋ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੈਡ ਕੋਚ ਅਤੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੈਕਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜੋ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਡਿਵੀਜ਼ਨ ਉਹ 6 ਤੋਂ 7 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੈਜੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰੀਏ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਮੈਚ ਕਰੀਏ। ਪਰ ਅਦਰਵਾਈਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ, 7 ਤੋਂ 14 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਜੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਊਗੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਮੈਚ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਅਤੇ ਬਟ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇਖਣਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਮੈਚ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਓਲੰਪਿਕ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਦੇ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਅਤੇ ਰੈਫਰੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਚਿੰਗ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਰੈਫਰੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਟ ਬੀ ਅ ਗੁੱਡ ਫॉर them to be a big achievement.
So you play this sport?
Yes.
So what level are you playing at this level, Michelle?
Right now I'm competing with Team Canada, so internationally.
And what got you interested in this sport?
It was basically on a dare, so I went from there and then I kept going to practice after the dare, and it was whoever placed higher at a tournament at my high school, and then I just kept going through university and then now out of university with Team Canada.
Are there any other girls or any other friends that have also joined this sport?
Yes, lots have joined throughout the years, but I've been in sport for about 10 years now. So now it's just with my university team and my club team at Brock University.
Okay, and what levels do you want to achieve? Are you giving some Olympic trials or anything like that?
Yes, we have Olympic trials in December and Pan Ams in July. So I'll be competing at Pan Ams and also World Championships in Las Vegas.
So you already qualified for the Pan Am Games?
I have actually a wrestle-off due to an injury that I wasn't able to wrestle at Nationals. So I will have a wrestle-off within the next 4 weeks for Pan Ams.
Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cedric, first of all, tell us what got you interested in this sport?
For me, I started wrestling in grade 8 when a teacher at my junior high came in and announced that he had a wrestling program that ran outside of school, so it was like a club. So he invited anyone who was interested, and my best friend at the time wanted to go out, so I just tagged along, and here I am today, still going.
Are you taking this sport as a career, or it's just fun or a hobby for you?
No, it's something. It's something that I've always. It's my dream to make it to the Olympics. So I'd like to go as far as I can with wrestling, and then pursue a career after. But right now, the wrestling is my main focus.
Wishing you all the best.
All right, thank you.
Juwan, you are going to compete at the Pan Am Games, is that right?
Yeah, correct.
So how's the preparation going on?
Preparation going real well right now. Training is real hard right now, and we have Pan Am Championships coming up in Chile.
And are you all excited for this festival as well?
I'm very excited. I went to Commonwealth Games last year, and that was amazing. I'm just expecting Pan Am Games to raise the bar a little bit.
Do any of your friends question, they must be playing ice hockey or basketball, that how come you got into this sport?
My friend was like, he was going for the team, and then he's just like, Javon, you should come out with me. And then I was like, no. And I said no for the longest time. And he went to like the first 3 tryouts, and he finally like dragged me on. And then the 4th tryout I came, and I kind of hated the sport at first because I was losing like a lot. And then I was going to quit. And then I just kept on going with it because I'm like, got to stay fit. So
Seems like you must be enjoying this sport.
yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot.
All right. Wishing you all the best. Thanks.
Thank you.
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਟਰੋਫੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦਿਓ ਜੀ।
ਇਹ ਟਰੋਫੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਵਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਈਸਟ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਆਈ ਮੀਨ ਈਸਟ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਫੈਸਟੀਵਲ ਐਂਡ ਬੈਂਟਮ ਚੈਂਪੀਅਨਸ਼ਿਪਸ, ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਟੀਮ ਚੈਂਪੀਅਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਟਰਾਫੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਹਰੇਕ ਕੈਟੇਗਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅੰਡਰ 10 ਈਅਰ 올ਡ ਗਰਲ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਬੋਇਜ਼ ਦੇ ਸੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ, ਅਤੇ ਅੰਡਰ 12 ਈਅਰ 올ਡ ਅਤੇ ਅੰਡਰ 14 ਈਅਰ 올ਡ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਟੀਮ ਚੈਂਪੀਅਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਟਰਾਫੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਊਗੀ।
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਚਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਉਹ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਲਵਾਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਾਈਟ ਕੋਈ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਤਗੜਾ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਸਰੀਰ ਕੁਝ ਅਲੱਗ ਕੁਝ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ?
ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਵੱਧ ਗਈ ਹੈ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ, ਪਹਿਲਵਾਨ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਹੈ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਡਾਈਟ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਪਹਿਲਵਾਨ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਏ ਐਥਲੀਟ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ, ਇਹ ਪਹਿਲਵਾਨ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਦੇਅਰ ਇਜ਼ ਗੁੱਡ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਐਂਡ ਗੁੱਡ ਫੂਡ। ਸੋ
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਬੱਚੇ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਟੀਵੀ ਨੂੰ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ ਹੈ?
ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਸੰਦੇਸ਼ਾ ਇਹ ਆ ਜੀ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹ ਟੂਰਨਾਮੈਂਟ ਇਹ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਈਸਟ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਫੈਸਟੀਵਲ, ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਮਦਰਸ ਡੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਿਨ 'ਤੇ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜਾਓ, ਅਤੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ, ਉਹ ਇਹ ਟੂਰਨਾਮੈਂਟ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਝੁਕਾਅ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਊਗਾ। ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣ, ਅਤੇ ਇਦੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਗੱਲ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਹੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ।
ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰੀਆ ਜੀ, ਐਂਡ ਵੀ ਵਿਸ਼ ਯੂ ਆਲ ਦ ਬੈਸਟ।
ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ।
Pick up any historic book and you'll find wrestling mentioned over there. Wrestling is a very ancient sport, और उम्मीद करते हैं कि जिस तरह से आज हमारा ये जो ग्रुप है वो रेसलिंग को इनकरेज कर रहा है, इसी तरह आने वाले टाइम में रेसलिंग के और ज़्यादा टूर्नामेंट्स होंगे, पैन एम गेम्स होने जा रही हैं, इसके अलावा ओलंपिक्स है। मैं हमारे देख रहे दर्शकों को और ख़ासकर नौजवानों को ये ज़रूर रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि किसी भी स्पोर्ट में आप हिस्सा ज़रूर लें, और अगर आपका रेसलिंग में रुझान है तो इस इवेंट पर ज़रूर आइए, इस इवेंट को देखिए, इन्जॉय करिए, साथ में अपने बच्चों को भी इस इवेंट पर ज़रूर लाइए। उम्मीद करते हैं आपको आज का हमारा ये स्पेशल कार्यक्रम ज़रूर पसंद आया होगा।
जी श्रोतियो, ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਊਥ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ 360 ਟੀਵੀ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਈਨਸ ਪਾਰਕ ਤੇ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਹੀ ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਦੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਐਂਡਰੀਆ ਹੌਰਵਥ ਨੇ ਅਨਾਉਂਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਐਮਪੀਪੀ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਡਿਪਟੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਝ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ।
ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੈਪੇਬਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਮੇਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਲੀਡਰ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਚੁਣਿਆ। ਇਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਰੋਕ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ, ਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਣ ਲਈ ਸੀਗਾ। ਜੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਇੱਛਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਇਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਸਲੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੂਬੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਅਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ, ਲੜਾਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਸਲੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਾਲੇ ਹੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ, ਅਤੇ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਹੋਰ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਲਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ। ਸੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਸਲੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਸੂਬੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਮਸਲੇ ਜੋ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੋਰ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ। ਅਤੇ ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੂਬੇ ਦੇ ਮਸਲੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਲੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਮਸਲੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਇਨਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੋਲ ਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਰੋਲ ਹੈ, ਅਤੇ ਆ ਡਿਪਟੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਦਾ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੈਪੇਬਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਯੂਥ ਨਾਲ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਕੀਤਾ, ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੈਰੀਅਰਸ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਕੀਤੇ। ਮੈਗਜ਼ੀਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ 5 ਚੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਤਾਰੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੁਣਿਆ ਗਿਆ, ਪੂਰੇ ਸੂਬੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 75 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਨਫਲੂਐਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਬੰਦੇ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਗਜ਼ੀਨ ਨਿਊਜ਼ਪੇਪਰ ਨੇ ਚੁਣਿਆ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰੈਕਗਨੀਸ਼ਨ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕੰਮ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ, ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕੈਪੇਬਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ 'ਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਹੋ ਸਕੀ ਹੈ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਹੀ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਪੋਰਟਰ ਸੀਗੇ, ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਿਵਾਸੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਹਲਕੇ ਦੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ। ਦੇਖੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਛ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਹਲਕਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ NDP ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ NDP ਬਣਾਇਆ। ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਦਸਤਾਰਧਾਰੀ ਨੇ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਸੂਬੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਜਿੱਤ ਕੇ, ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਨਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਲੜ ਕੇ ਜਿੱਤਿਆ। ਸੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੈਰੀਅਰਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੋੜੇ। ਈਵਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਲਾਅ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦਾ ਮੰਨੇ ਪ੍ਰਮੰਨੇ ਲਾਅ ਸਕੂਲ, ਆਸਗੁਡ ਹਾਲ ਲਾਅ ਸਕੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਕੇਸ ਰੱਖੇ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਬੈਰੀਅਰਸ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ, ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਰੀਅਰਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੋੜੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੈਕਗਨੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਛ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਨ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਗਰੋ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ, ਹੋਰ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਤਰੱਕੀ, ਹੋਰ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਗਰੋਥ ਲਈ ਇਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਬਲ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ ਇਸ ਲਈ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਕਾਰਨ ਆ ਜੀ। ਸੋ ਆਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਲੈਟਫਾਰਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ। ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਲੈਟਫਾਰਮ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋਇਆ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੈਜਿਸਲੇਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰੰਟ ਬੈਂਚ 'ਤੇ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਡਿਪਟੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਪਾਲਿਸੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਜਾਣਾ, ਕੀ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੁਣ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਰ ਹੋਊਗੀ। ਇੱਕ ਫਾਰਮਲ ਰੈਕਗਨੀਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਉਹਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਰੈਕਗਨੀਸ਼ਨ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਪਲੈਟਫਾਰਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਕੰਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ, ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਹੋਰ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਉਸ ਕੰਮ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਨਿਭਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਹਾਂ।
ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਰਾ ਨੂੰ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਚੋਣਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨੋਮੀਨੇਟ?
ਉਹਦਾ ਜੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਜੋ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਪੂਰੇ, ਮੇਰਾ ਭਾਈ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਾਬਲ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ, ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਨਵਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਧੀਆ ਪਲੈਟਫਾਰਮ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਅਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਪਲੈਟਫਾਰਮ ਹੁਣ ਜੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਜੋ ਅਪੋਇੰਟਮੈਂਟ, ਜੋ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਰਤਣਾ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ, ਹੋਰ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਰੋਸ਼ਨੀ ਪਾਈਏ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੇਇਨਸਾਫੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਟੋ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ, ਪਰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟੈਂਪਰੇਰੀ ਜੌਬ ਏਜੰਸੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਰੋਸ਼ਨੀ ਪਾਉਣਾ। ਪਲੈਟਫਾਰਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਰੋਸ਼ਨੀ ਪਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਹਾਇਰ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਰਤਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਨਸਾਫ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ।
ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ NDP ਦੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਐਂਡਰੀਆ ਹੌਰਵਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਹੀ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ MPP NDP ਦੇ ਜੇ ਸਨ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅਨਾਊਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਡਿਪਟੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਮੁੱਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ।
Well, Jagmeet is going to be relied upon to do a lot more than what he has been doing as the deputy leader. He is going to be taking over for me on all kinds of different activities when I can't do it. I mean, one of the things that we're doing as a political party, the NDP, is we're growing, and we want to grow to the point where we form a government in 2018. We can't do that without making sure that there's a sharing of the responsibilities. Ontario is a big province. There's lots of media. There's lots of events. There's lots of responsibility in terms of the legislature, in terms of the work we do as a party. And so I can't do everything on my own. I can't do everything as the leader myself. And so what appointing Jagmeet as my deputy leader does is help me to kind of to give Jagmeet the opportunity to take on some of those responsibilities. So it might be that, for example, we have a budget coming. It might be that we have hundreds of media calls to make and TV appearances and talk shows. I can't do all of those. I can only be at one place at a time. Jagmeet actually allows me to be at two places at one time. And so that's just an example, but it really is, it's a very serious position. It's a very good opportunity for Jagmeet, and it's something that I'm really looking looking forward to sharing with Jagmeet all of these responsibilities. No. In fact, I've been thinking about this deputy leader position for some time, and so when I raised it with Jagmeet, he was very excited. I mean, you've seen the kinds of things that Jagmeet has been able to do in terms of the issues that he brings to the forefront. So whether that's the auto insurance issue, whether that's the temporary agencies issue, whether that's social justice issues that he's constantly working on, whether that's Sikh Heritage Month here in the province of Ontario in the month of April. Jagmeet's very passionate about the community, and he's very passionate about making a real difference. And one of the things we've talked about a lot since he's been elected is just how much real change you can bring as a provincial representative. And so as I thought about the deputy leader position, one of the things that my party needs to do as we grow to form a government in 2018 is we need to reach out to people who have not been engaged that much in politics. And we know that Jagmeet is great at doing that work. We know that he engages young people. We know that he engages communities. We know that people respect him. We know that people see him not only as a champion for social justice and other justice issues, but also as a mentor. And so as I look towards, as a party leader, what does my party need to do to be in a position to form government in 2018? It's grow and reach out. And I know that Jagmeet can help us do that. Well, you know what? It's often having somebody with new ideas, with a new perspective, somebody, frankly, who represents youth and young people. I mean, Jagmeet is a young man. It's important to have not only his voice with us as a deputy leader, but also to show young people that politics is important and that you can make a difference in political life, and that if you get engaged in politics as a young person, you can make a real difference. And that's exactly what Jagmeet symbolizes.
Thank you very much for your comments. We are extremely grateful.
My pleasure as always. Thank you. First of all, thank you for coming to Queen's Park this afternoon, this evening, to celebrate with me and with our caucus and with Jagmeet, the appointment of Jagmeet Singh as the Deputy Leader for Ontario's New Democrats. It's been a long time since the NDP has had a Deputy Leader in our party, but I think everybody knows the hard work that Jagmeet has been doing over his years, having been elected in Bremley, Gore Malton back in 2011. He has championed some of the most important issues for his constituents in his own riding, but also taken on some major social justice issues as well. And so some of the issues he's championed have actually been social justice type issues, but he's also been very, very vocal on a number of other files. And so we're seeing, and I'm seeing as leader, the need to have somebody that can speak with force and authority on my behalf when I'm not able to be available. And as we travel towards the forming of government in 2018, I really identified the need to have somebody else that's picking up some of the responsibilities. And I saw Jagmeet as the person that can do a number of things, not only speak with that authority that I mentioned, but also in a way that's engaging and that brings new people into our party and into the work that we're doing. And so I think about Jagmeet's work with young people particularly. I think about the way that he's brought people who have not really ever been asked to engage or encouraged to engage in politics into political engagement. And that is extremely important. That's what it should be all about. It should be all about making sure that more people are involved in political discourse and political discussion, and in talking about what would make their lives better, what would make life easier, how to make life more affordable, and how to make sure that people feel that there's opportunity for themselves and for their children, frankly. And so I'm excited about what Jagmeet's been able to do. I'm excited about his current track record that he now has under his belt. But, you know, I know that there's a lot of young people particularly that see Jagmeet not only as a champion for social justice, but actually as a mentor for them. And I've seen that as I've traveled with Jagmeet throughout the province. And so I'm really, really excited about this announcement. I'm thrilled to have Jagmeet as our deputy leader. And I look forward to his next kind of body of work, can we call it that?
Sure.
As we continue forward here as New Democrats, because we are on a trajectory to form government in 2018, and I think Jagmeet is exactly the deputy leader that's going to help us get there. So
Thank you so much. Great honor. Thank you. So I'll just say a couple of remarks. Do you want them in English or in Punjabi?
Punjabi would be better. If everybody's okay with that.
I'll do a little bit of both. So first and foremost, the most important thing is I have to thank our leader for the position. It's a great honor. So ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਮਾਣ ਦਿੱਤਾ. It's a great honor and I really appreciate it. I also want to thank the entire team, the entire NDP caucus. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ colleagues ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਤਹਿ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਮਾਣ ਕੀਤਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹਿਮਤ ਹਾਂ I agree absolutely that one of the most important things we can do is engage more people. And this is an amazing platform to increase that engagement, to use this new position to continue to fight for the issues that matter, but also to inspire a new generation of leadership, to encourage more people to get involved in politics. Listen, I think ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਨਿਵਾਸੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਕੋਈ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਲੀਡਰ ਬਣਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਬਣ ਸਕਦਾ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਬੱਚੀ ਬੈਠੀ ਹੈ ਦੇਖਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਹਲਕੇ ਤੋਂ ਆਏ ਆ ਸੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਅਚੀਵ ਕੀਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਅਚੀਵ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ so for me that would be an amazing dream come true just to think that maybe someone else growing up in Brampton right now a young kid looks and says hey he looks like me and he's now a deputy leader of a party that's such an amazing thing if I can inspire that young child or a girl that grows up in Brampton and thinks that he speaks the same language as me and he's achieved so much that inspires me to do something if I can in any way inspire my community and broader in Ontario that would be such a great honor so I think this position really gives me the ability to continue the work we began but also to continue to inspire more people that don't really think that politics is a place for them maybe they don't think that people that look like them aren't being represented in politics it gives them a chance to say no you know what there is a place for me in politics.
Leader of a political party is very, very busy. It's a very, very busy job. I have lots of public engagements that I have to attend. I have lots of responsibilities in the legislature. I have responsibilities with the party. And that's all just with the status quo. But if we're going to build and grow the way we want to, that means taking on even more activity. And so as we go through the next number of months and next couple of years, Jagmeet is going to help me to be in more than one place at one time. And so it's really very open-ended. So there might be very important events that I should be going to as the leader and giving a speech at, for example, but my schedule won't allow it. So Jagmeet will make that speech on behalf of New Democrats and on behalf of myself. There might be times when the legislatures, I've had to go up north or I've had to go to Eastern Ontario and I'm not going to be able to be in the legislature for question period. There will be an opportunity for Jagmeet then to take the questions at the beginning of question period. There are going to be times when the media want interviews where we're very, very busy and there's more demand than there is time in the day for me to answer all the media requests. Jagmeet will take some of those on. And so really it's pretty widespread in terms of the opportunity and I have no qualms on any of those kind of places, any of those activities to ask Jagmeet to take the reins so that we can broaden our impact so that we can grow our presence.
So should I add to that as well? Just maybe give you the same thing in a little bit in Punjabi. So ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਹੋਰ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੂਲ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਉਹ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਰੈਕਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਡੈਪਟੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਨਿਵਾਸੀਆਂ ਕੋਲ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਪਲੈਟਫਾਰਮ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਕੰਸਰਨਸ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ I've spoken about on the topic 4 times or I've addressed the topic in four different ways and I think the main concern is that parents feel that they've not been respected in terms of having clarifications, providing explanations. They're not really being engaged, and we've tried to get the government to engage with the community more so they don't feel like they're being left out. And I think there's a lack of respect for them.
We actually believe, we know for sure that the auto insurance industry has received lots of changes in policy. Or the government, let's put it the other way. The government, the Liberals, have made lots of changes to the way that the insurance industry behaves in Ontario. And the vast majority, if not all of those changes, have helped the insurance industry to make more and more and more profits. And who's paying for that is the drivers. And so here we have a system in Ontario where when changes are made, instead of actually dealing with the unfairness of the highest rates, even though we have the fewest accidents in all of Canada, we have the opposite situation. With the fewest accidents, we should have the lowest rates, but we don't. We have the highest rates, and that's because the Liberal government has made changes over the years, and we were vocal about those changes. Back in 2010, when there were changes made to the insurance industry, we said this is not going to be good. It's going to make rates go up, or it's going to make at least the insurance companies get even more revenue, more profits. And we were right. And it's not a happy thing to have been right about that, but we continue to be right about that. And the Liberals can spin it any way they want. They can talk about it any way they want. But when I continue to get letters from people who say, my insurance rates went up by by 30% or by 15% or by 12%, and they were supposed to go down by 15%, what's going on here? It's very, very obvious. And again, there might be the odd person who might have gotten some kind of break, but I know I haven't, and I know many hundreds of thousands of Ontarians haven't. And so we are talking about that exactly now. What can we do to continue to keep the pressure on the government? We're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to continue to get up and ask questions in question period, and we're going to continue to say to the people of Ontario, we still think it's an unfair system, and we're going to continue to fight. And so I can't tell you what we're going to do in the next platform because we haven't gotten there yet, but we're certainly looking at, there are a number of different systems across Canada that to range from regulation to a mixed model of public and private to completely public. We haven't had that discussion yet. We haven't made those final decisions about what we might be suggesting come the next election campaign, but we are not going to let go of this issue. People, I actually hear from people, and Jagmeet has as well. We've used this example publicly, but I actually heard it when I was on tour in the Windsor area. Somebody actually told me that they bought a car, a used car, and they paid $6,000 for their car, and then they found out that their insurance was going to be something like $7,000 a year, and so they sold the car because they couldn't afford the annual insurance costs. It's the system is out of control, and the Liberals have allowed it to get that way, and they've not fixed it.
Saying that it's not possible to have uniform reduction of 15% for all Ontarians, and she's saying many of the insurance companies have already reduced to 7%, 10%. That's what we can do.
So one of the things we have to make it clear is that
you took tough stand when you supported the budget at that time. This is all.
Yeah. Well, so, and they got us to support that budget based on
those promises.
On those promises that they've not fulfilled.
Well, one of the things we have to make it clear is that we have to even their own promise. They're backpacking, or they're backpedaling on their own promise. Their promise was a 15% average reduction. They may say now we can reduce everyone's insurance by 15%. Okay. But their promise was to reduce it by 15%, on average. Right now, Fisco has clearly said that it's only gone down, they're claiming 7%. And that 7% also doesn't mean it's happened as of today. That 7%, they're actually looking into the future. So they're saying we've achieved 7%, but that won't be actually achieved until the summer. So already they've missed their target. They promised a 15% reduction by this summer, by the end of the summer, by the fall, and already we know they've broken that promise. So they've broken their own promise. We think they can do much more. We thought the 15% was just very reasonable. Looking at the profits of the industry, and that report that came out very much proved what we've been saying. The insurance industry is making significant profits. There's no doubt about it. But the government doesn't have the will. They have the ability to, but they're not doing what they can do to bring the rates down.
Another that motion to recognize April as the Sikh Heritage Month.
Absolutely, and we're celebrating that right now.
Celebrating it
in
now
the last
for the
week or
second
two.
time consecutively.
That's right.
You have to say something about that.
Oh, we're
Lots
so
of
proud.
events are going on.
Yes.
And we really thank him and thank the NDP also.
Yeah, and and it's not the first time. In fact, it was the former leader of the NDP, Howard Hampton, that brought the motion forward to recognize the 5Ks
That's right.
here in the legislature of Ontario. So that was one of our first kind of proud initiatives with the Sikh community. But yeah, the Sikh Heritage Month is extremely important, and you know, Jagmeet says this is something we celebrate. It's celebrated in other parts of the world. We should officially have an official Sikh Heritage Month in Ontario, and so he brought that forward, and we all supported it, and now we're officially celebrating it each and every year. There's events that happen here at Queen's Park, but we know there's events that happen, around the province and around all kinds of communities.
At the
So,
physical level.
yeah,
it's
exactly,
amazing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just to highlight on Sikh Heritage Month, Sikh Heritage Month ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਕੁਈਨਸ ਪਾਰਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਕਾਰਬਰੋ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, ਓਕਵਿਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਹੈਮਿਲਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। there's going to be an event in Hamilton, the City Hall later on this week. ਪੈਮਾ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡਾ ਆਰਟ ਗੈਲਰੀ ਆ, ਪੂਰਾ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਲਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੈਰੀਟੇਜ ਮੰਥ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਲੈਬੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਰੱਖੇ ਪੈਮਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਲੋਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਨਾਈਟ 30 ਅਪ੍ਰੈਲ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਮਾਲ ਦਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਆ। ਸੋ ਪੂਰੇ ਸੂਬੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਦੂਰ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਕੁਛ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, ਇਟਸ ਅਮੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ। ਤੇ ਆਰ ਮੇਨ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਵਾਸ ਦਿਸ ਕਿ we've noticed ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, if we don't know about someone, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਡਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ, ਅਗਿਆਨ ਤੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਡਰ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਆ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਅਸੂਲ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ, ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡਰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। So instead of fearing someone, we start to understand them and then accept them, and that's really what I wanted my dream was to have a platform where we could get to understand more about each other and really celebrate all of our uniqueness.
Well, I mean, we know that there's a lot of people who are very concerned about being shut out of the kind of the future discussion about this issue. And so Jagmeet and I have talked about this a lot, and one of the things that he has said to me is, people they want to be able to be engaged in this discussion. They want to be able to feel that they're being listened to, that they're being understood, that their concerns are being taken seriously. So what we've told the government, what we've said publicly, is that they have an obligation to continue to engage with parents and with communities about the curriculum. But we have also said it was time to update that curriculum. There's no doubt it was time to update the curriculum. However, there's also an obligation to continue to engage parents going forward with the issue, and it's quite disappointing that the government has decided not to do that.
So one of the things that I raised was that it's really the government's responsibility to address your concern. Right? You're concerned about certain things. If there's an age appropriateness, the government should clarify why they're doing that. If there's evidence to back it up, and they should actually provide that clarification, because the community, like you said, is not opposed to changes. Changes, might be very beneficial. They might be so useful that it'll actually improve society. But the community just wants to be engaged, and they want to know what's the reasoning for it, explain certain things, communicate with us. And really what this comes down to is communication. I think people feel that they're not being communicated with. And I think that's where the government's really failed to do their job. They need to communicate with people so they don't feel neglected. Right?
I sent him a little letter of congratulations today. He's dedicated much of his life to policing in Toronto. It's not an easy job, that's for sure, but it is a job that it's extremely important. I mean, not only do the people of Toronto want to need a safe community, but people who are visiting Toronto, the reputation of Toronto and the reputation of the province and in fact the country is in some ways reflected in the issues that happen in safety and crime in this particular part of our province. And so he has a big job cut out for him, but I'm wishing him all the very, very best, and I know that he has a great deal of experience and look forward to him bringing that experience as a black man to the leadership role of the Chief of Police of Toronto. I think it's an exciting time, and I think there's some very positive results that can come of that. I'm excited for
Last but
him.
not the least, the budget is coming up. Is there any position on that? Any expectation you have from the government, or what will be your stand?
Well, we're very worried about the budget. We think that the budget is going to start the process of selling off Hydro One,
Yes.
Which is going to jack up people's electricity rates through the roof. And we know that electricity rates are already going up.
Today they
But
are
yeah, they're already going up. But by selling it off to the private sector, selling off 60% of Hydro One to the private sector, that's going to increase rates even more. And people can't afford it. So we're very, very worried about that. We think it's the wrong thing for the government to do. Everybody that I talk to thinks it's the wrong thing for the government to do. I think Ms. Wynne is listening too much, the Premier is listening too much to her friends on Bay Street, to her banker friends, and not enough to everyday families that are struggling to pay the bills. And so that's one of the things we expect to see in the budget, is the beginning of the process for the selling off of hydro. But we know that the last budget had all kinds of cuts in it. They cut education, they are cutting healthcare. There is a 6% across the board cut to all ministries, and they said they weren't going to touch healthcare. They said they weren't going to touch education, but we see it happening. We've seen nurses on the picket lines. We've seen PSWs, personal support workers, on the picket lines in Welland. Now teachers are on the picket line in Durham, and they're going out in other regions as well. And so the government is doing some things very, very poorly. And I mean, we haven't seen this kind of labor action since the years of Mike Harris. It's not good for the Liberal government to be doing the things they're doing. So we're very worried about the budget. We're very worried about what else the Liberals have in store. And we don't believe for 1 minute that this sell-off of hydro is going to give them anywhere near enough money to make a dent in the infrastructure and the infrastructure deficit that we have. And that's very, very frustrating. They're going to get $4 billion, $9 billion, but $5 billion they have to put to debt retirement for the financing company for Hydro One. So that leaves them with $4 billion. $4 billion won't even build half of the downtown relief line here in downtown Toronto. Never mind any of the other infrastructure pressures, as well as the what is it, $29 billion transit program that they want to put in place. And so, and yet, Hydro One right now, each and every year, brings in over $700 million annually in revenues to the provincial coffers, plus a dividend payment of close to $300 million. So we're actually getting $1 billion each and every year right now from Hydro One. In 4 years, we'd have $4 billion from Hydro One, except that now, with this plan that the Liberals have, we won't have that $4 billion over 4 years. We're going to get one quick infusion of cash, and then not only us, but our children and our grandchildren will forever not be able to get the revenue from this public utility, but we'll also not be able to use that public utility for economic development initiatives, for conservation, environmental conservation initiatives. It's a big, big mistake, and we're going to fight as hard as we can on behalf of the people of Ontario to save their asset, to save their public asset.
Beer stores at the corner stores?
Well, I mean, what Mr. Clark is recommending is beer in the grocery stores. And, you know, it's interesting. I mean, people have been pressuring, I think, some people have been pressuring the government to open up access to beer and wine to Ontarians. And so, you know, I don't think that it's necessary, but some people do. But I'm not all that worried about it insofar as people having more access to beer in the grocery stores. But it's not even going to happen the way the government's talking about it. The government's talking about this is some big reform, but in fact it's not. And when you look at what they're doing, it's, as Jagmeet said about the auto insurance promise, this promise about beer and wine in the grocery stores isn't really not what they're doing now is really not what they promised, and most Ontarians really won't see a difference until after the next election. And so the thing I'm worried about if beer is going into the grocery stores and maybe wine after that, how much of the money that currently comes into the public purse from selling beer and wine in the liquor stores and in the beer stores, how much of that money is going to get siphoned off by, like, for Walmart, for example? So big corporations like Walmart or Loblaws, you know, how much money is going to go into their pockets instead of the public purse, right? I'm worried about the social responsibility. I mean, right now we have good, good social responsibility around the sale of beer and wine and alcohol to minors and things like that. Like, we're very careful about making sure that that's done in a way that's responsible. What's going to happen when it's at the grocery store? You know, is there going to be any checks and balances whatsoever in terms of social responsibility? And I mean, let's not forget, those jobs are good-paying jobs. Those jobs are decent jobs at the liquor store and at the beer store. Does this mean that, you know, some young person that works at a grocery store, for example, is not going to be able to work there anymore because they're not old enough to sell beer? Right? So there might be job losses for young people at grocery stores, but also there might be job losses at liquor stores and beer stores where there are good jobs and people get paid a decent wage. And so we know how much we struggle to provide good jobs for the people in Ontario. We see how many good jobs are lost. I mean, this is another issue that Jagmeet has taken up with the temp agencies, right? The temporary job agencies, the temporary employment agencies. If we as a government continue to water down the quality of our jobs, then that's not a good thing either. So it's social responsibility, it's good jobs, and it's making sure that the revenues don't get watered down with this initiative. Those are the things we're worried about.
You think that crime can increase?
Well, I mean, there has been some suggestion that in fact could be the result. We know that other provinces have gone down this road, and I don't know, to be honest with you off the top, and you might, whether there has been a long-term impact on crime. But I mean, crime, domestic violence, I mean, these are issues that we have to be concerned about, right?